Alright, what's going on, guys? So today I'm actually gonna review one of the classics. The name is Harem Time. So Harem Time has been a show that's been a classic for a while, and I've been meaning to review this as well because I recently rewatched it. I haven't seen this show in like a hot minute, so I thought maybe why not? So although at the very first time I saw this, I was extremely confused because there were like two scenarios in one episode, but then I realized that they kind of coexist in the same universe, let's just say. So that is why it was basically that. So we're basically gonna give a little bit of backstory here. So it looks like there's this guy whose family is a wealthy family. And when I see that big ass castle, that's not even a mansion, that's a castle. That's twice as big as a castle. And they have like this, assuming it's an assistant. His assistant basically tells him, listen, you need to there's like five candidates to become your wife, and you only have to pick one, because once you pick that one, you're gonna have to choose her for the rest of your life and devote yourself to her. Now, as he learns this, he's taken aback by this because he was like, wait, what do you mean I have to marry five? No, I mean, I'm given five girls to marry, but they must prove themselves to be wife materials. And he has to choose one. Now, we are gonna introduce the characters. There is five, but out of those five girls, there's one of them that happens to be his childhood friend. Now we get a little bit of backstory no jutsu here, where he and her was like hanging out one day. Well, actually, they're walking around his place, well, his parents' place at the time, one day, and she was like, "Listen, I would like that one day. I would have to be your wife and be your bride basically." And he was like, okay, sure. Again, he was taken aback by this because they're kids. Kids say a lot of shit, and they even pretend to do and say a lot of shit, so that's understandable. He was a bit confused by that, but she smiled and she took that seriously, and now she's actually dressed up in this. Ooh, I'm not even gonna lie, the lingerie look hella erotic, and it's not just her, it's her and four others. They're like seducing this guy and to basically have him choose which one should he pick, and they're all fighting over this guy. Even the assistant is like, listen, take your time, you don't have to decide now. For now, the girls, they're gonna seduce you and try their best to win this game. That's just how I see it basically. And he's like, okay, well, and then after I had finished, we I don't know if like it's like I saw there's like a separate episode, not really an episode, but more like there's like these two college couple. They're like this couple in college, but apparently he's like she's like his senpai or some shit like that. Actually, she's the senpai, and he's like very much in love with her. And there's this one night where they were drinking, and then things, took a turn for the left because they were both pissing drunk, and he takes her back to her place because he's trying to be a gentleman, and she's like, well, where are you going? He's like, well, listen, I don't want to miss the train and I don't want to cause any trouble. And she's like, no, there's no trouble, you can stay the night. So of course she ended up kissing him, and basically things, they did what they did, if you know what I mean. The next day, she just wakes up and gives him like this cold, nonchalant type of treatment, and she's like, "Listen, it was an honest mistake. Whatever happened yesterday, let's just forget about it." And she just walks off nonchalant, and he's like thrown off by this because he's like in love with her and she doesn't know it. Actually, she does know it, but she just is afraid to admit and basically reciprocate. So he's like talking to his friend, and he's like, listen, I really like this chick, why can't she just accept the fact? And he's like, well, I don't know, I mean, I guess you could try and talk to her. And then when he sees her, she's like, listen, I would like us to go and drink again. And she tells him at the ending of the scene, she's like, well, listen, you know how I get when I get drunk. And he's like, I'm okay with that. So we cut back to the next scene where there's this new candidate I'm not. She looks exactly like the senpai we saw earlier. But anyways, yeah, she's the sixth girl in competing basically. So without further ado, let's get into the first part of the Harem Time show. So yeah, let's just enjoy this.
レイジ君、あのね、大きくなったら絶対私のことお嫁さんにしてね。
平泉先輩、今年のミスキャンパス。何十人もの男が撃沈。一度も男の影が見えないし、よっぽど理想が高いのか。先輩、夜道は危ないし送ります。
なら肩貸して。
平泉先輩、今日そんなに飲んでましたっけ？
ごめんね、なんだか楽しくなって飲みすぎちゃったみたい。君もすごく酔ってるみたいだけど。
まあそれなりには。じゃあ俺はこれで。
帰っちゃうの？
終電逃すとヤバいんで。
わざわざそっちから来てくれるなんてね。
先輩、
偶然君を勧誘したとでも思った？新入生でしょ？旅行サークル興味ない？
はい、あります。
ねえ、そろそろ起きて。忘れましょう、昨日のこと。お互い酔ってたみたいだし、こういうこともあるわ。
ということがありまして。
そういう夢を見ただけだろ。
本当ですって。
だって平泉が酔っ払うわけないじゃん。あいつめっちゃ酒に強いんだぜ。っておい、どこ行く？
先輩、
鍵返しに来たの？
今夜二人で飲みに行きませんか？
また酔っ払っても知らないからね。
神山家の屋敷に来て数日後、純子さんが新しい正妻候補の女の子を連れてきた。でもそれはなんと、花沢さん。
佐藤君、君だったんだ。
どうして？
私も正妻候補に選ばれたの。だからわかるでしょ？
Alright, folks, that seems to be the end of it. At least part one. I might do part two either tomorrow or Tuesday, depending on how I feel, that is, and depending on how quickly I can edit, because I've been having some classes lately as well. So, oh, I have an update on my injury. I got the cast removed over 2 weeks now, and I'm starting to heal slowly but surely, and I am walking just as good right now. It's just that I will have to go to the doctors on Monday, not this Monday, but the next Monday, which is the 20th, because they want to find out what's the final verdict, if I could do like at least exercise, because they didn't say that they didn't say if I could go back in sports and whatnot, but I know for sure sports is I don't know. But anyways, back to the review. Sorry, I think I kind of drifted. Anyways, I think it was generally entertaining. There were some laughs here and there, and honestly, what caught me off guard is the fact that in the last scene is where we saw the girl, well, the senpai who we saw earlier, and she looks exactly like the sixth candidate, which was weird. But yeah, I think it was good. If you guys are like into this type of stuff like harem, yeah, this is definitely the one for you. And that is it for this video, guys. I truly appreciate you all support, and we are close to 500 subs, of course. And yeah, look out for the next video. Until then, peace out.